Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to design this attractive user interface together. Okay, first I created a frame with the standard dimensions of the iPhone 15, and we are going to use the colors you see here in this project. I put the code for each color at the top and bottom for these two gradient colors and at the top for these four solid colors. And I added all these colors to the color style section so that we can quickly select these colors when designing the project. Well, let's go to the design of this project. I will select the rectangle tool from this part, draw a rectangle like this, and change the height value to 420. From this part, I change the corner radius value for these two corners to 70. Now, I choose this color from the fill in the style section. I go to the circle tool and click here once. I activate the link icon so that the ratio of width and height changes to the same size and enter the value of 364 for width or height to create such a circle. Well, I drag this circle and place it in this part. Now I come to the styles and I select this gradient. In fact, it is the gradient that you see here. Now I want to make a duplicate of this circle. For this, I press Ctrl and D buttons to create a duplicate of the circle on it, and in the width and height section, I change the width or height value to number 284 when the link icon is active, and I put this small circle in the middle of the bigger one. Let's go to the styles. This time I will select this gradient. Again, I will make a duplicate of the small circle by pressing the Ctrl and D keys. I will change the size of this circle to number 248 and I will place this circle in the center like this. By holding the Shift key like this, I rotate this smaller circle 180 degrees to create such a thing. Now I have to create a shadow for the middle circle. So I select this circle, click on the plus sign from the Effects section, and from the Drop Shadow section, I enter these settings. I change the amount of blur to 100, the amount of white 45, and the amount of opacity to 40 in order to create such a shadow. Now I have to place a small circle here. I go to Circle tool, click once, and consider width and height value to 25, and move the circle to this area. I choose this color from the style part. Very well, let's go to the effect section. This time I will choose inner shadow and change the blur value to 6. From the stroke section, I add a stroke, and from this section, I consider the gradient section to be white for the upper part and enter the opacity to 80. And use the eyedropper tool for the lower part. And I will sample a color from this range to create such an effect for this circle. Very well, now we want to create the grade section, so I will select this big circle and hit the Ctrl and D keys to make a duplicate. I remove the fill and add a stroke to it. I change the size of the circle to 330 and draw this shape and place it in the center of the circles. I change the value of the stroke weight to 20. From the settings section, I select the dash mode, enter the dash value of 5 and the gap value of 100 to create such a mode for degrees. Well, I go back to color styles and select this color. Now I want to enter the editing area. For this, I double click on this element so that the editing tools appear. And I click on this point and press the delete key until the bottom degrees are deleted like this. Now I can reduce the size of these degrees like this. Well, now let's go to the rest of our design. I will select the text tool and click here. I write the phrase choose size here. The settings look like this. The font is Adobe Clean. Font weight is bold. Font size is 28, and I choose Align Center and put this phrase here. Well, I select the word choose and consider this color for this word. I also choose this color for the word size. Now I select the frame. As you can see, I have already created a setting for layout grid. These settings are as follows. I set the count value on 1, the color code on this, and the opacity to be 20%. The type is on a stretch and the margins are set to 20. Well, if I press the combination keys Ctrl, Shift, and number 4, this layout grid, which has a single column, which be created here. Now I go to the Assets panel. I have already placed a number of designs in the local component section so that we can quickly design this project. Here are the designs as you can see, and I'm going to select the arrow item here. I place it in this part like this, and by holding the Shift key and the down arrow key, I will transfer it to this part for 30 pixels. Now I go to this image which I have already prepared. I put it here. I enter the rotation value of 7 and move the image like this. Pay attention that the clip content item must be disabled in the frame settings. I put the image in this part. I press the Shift, Ctrl, and number 4 keys to disable the layout grid. And I move the image like this. From the Effect section, drop shadow item, I create a shadow like this. Very well, now let's go to the size options. I have already prepared these items for small, medium, and large sizes. I will drag these items and leave them here. I will put the medium item in the middle. I will place the small item here and the large one in this section. I will select the small item, put rotation value on 45, and do the same for the large item too, but in a negative form. Okay, I put the small item here. I select these two ones, and by choosing Align Vertical Center, I put them in line with each other. And the medium item is in the middle. And I move this image like this. Okay, in this video, we designed this attractive user interface with the help of Figma tools and features together. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.